We're back. My first guests are the creators of South Park, and beginning Friday, you can see their new film, Team America, World Police. Please welcome Matt Stone, Trey Parker.
Found out we were the first guest. We've never been the first guest on your show. We've arrived.
Oh, really?
We're always the second
We're always
guest.
the second guest.
Well, that would depend on who the first guest was the last time. If it was a huge star, then that was not an insult to you.
It was John Linguin-Zazamo.
You don't even know his name. He was Al Roker's brother.
Right.
Dick Roker. He's a good weatherman. Okay, well, I want to talk about this movie. I saw this movie the other day.
Yeah.
I laughed hard throughout this movie.
But
I really like.
Yeah,
No, I don't have a but.
Oh.
We'll talk about that later. But first of all, I was a big fan of the Thunderbirds show when I was a kid, and which used marionettes.
Yeah.
And what I love, first of all, is that you guys obviously have the technological expertise to do a lot of fancy stuff with the puppets, but you don't. You actually see the strings on the puppets throughout the movie, and what I love is that there's a lot of cool visual stuff in the movie, but when the puppets have a fight, you just have them kind of mash up against each other and go like that, and that was just killing me.
Well, because we found out that the whole idea was, like, make a Bruckheimer movie, but make it with puppets, right? And so we quickly, we started shooting these scenes with puppets, and we had them do all this stuff, and they would really just kind of mash together, and they couldn't do their lines very well, and they couldn't even really look at each other.
Right.
And then we would get it edited, and we'd go like, oh, this doesn't look very good. But then we put Bruckheimer music behind it, and it looked just like Armageddon.
Right. Well, and it's as believable, now, one of the things is there's I will say this, and I mean it. I don't mean it in a negative way. It's the filthiest puppet movie I've ever seen, and I've seen all the filthy puppet movies. I made it my life's mission. You had some explicit puppet sex in here, which I thought was really fun.
Puppet love.
It's puppet love, by the way.
Puppet love, I'm sorry.
They love each other. Gary and Lisa love each other very much. And the original sex scene, love scene we had was about maybe 2 minutes long. Of different love-making positions.
Yes,
and the MPAA had a real problem with that, and so they made us cut it down to like
to just
45
a tawdry
seconds.
40-second sex.
It's like kind of like a one-night stand, like tawdry little sex.
Right. So they're the ones that are responsible for making it seem more tawdry.
It used to be more lovely.
There's also the longest scene of a puppet vomiting that I've ever seen, and it all works for the plot, but the puppet, there's a puppet that at one point has too much to drink, and then that scene really goes on and on.
It goes on for about 87 minutes, but it was just cool because you could have a puppet. Obviously, it had a hollow inside, so we could fill it with as much vomit as we wanted.
Don't ruin it for me, man. I want to believe that it was really throwing up.
No, he really was. That puppet got really drunk and started throwing up a whole lot.
Well, it proves one of my long-held comedy beliefs, which I think a lot of people have, which is sometimes something can be kind of funny, but then it goes on too long.
Yeah,
but if you keep, and it's not funny, but then if you keep going, magically it comes back around again.
It comes back around.
And he's funnier than anything you've seen.
And then you go even further, and it's not funny again. And I think that's what we've pulled off.
Congratulations. Now, Michael Moore is depicted in this film, along with a lot of other celebrities.
Yes.
And we actually, I talked about it with one of our producers after we saw the movie, because you guys sort of go after Michael Moore. And I thought that's surprising, because Michael Moore was in Bowling for Columbine. And, and it's his movie. He interviewed you on Bowling for Columbine. And I remember thinking, I thought those guys were friends with Michael Moore. Did they have a falling out? What happened
it wasn't
there?
so much that we had a falling out. It was that, he asked me to do the interview for Bowling for Columbine because I grew up in Littleton, Colorado.
Right.
So I was like, okay, I'll talk about Littleton, growing up in Littleton, Colorado. What he did that made us a little angry is he put an animation that is right after my piece in Bowling for Columbine that's very South Park-esque in its look. And I think 99% of the people who saw Bowling for Columbine think Trey and I did that animation.
I thought it was yours until my producer told me that he talked to you guys. I thought that you had done that animation.
He asked us if we would do an animated thing for him, and we were like, we grew up in Colorado. Our parents have guns. It's just like, whatever. And so
I'm wearing a gun now.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just accepted.
We strongly believe in guns.
We always packy, man.
So then he kind of did it anyway. So then later, when he did Fahrenheit 9/11, people were like, well, Michael Moore kind of lies and manipulates to make people think certain things. We're like personal victims of that. so we basically decided to make it into a puppet and blow him up.
I mean, he didn't explicitly say Matt and Trey did this animation, but he made it look like it, and that's what he does in his movies. Is he uses two images put together, and he creates meaning where there is none.
And he's fat.
Wow.
The crowd could get behind that.
I love that.
Yeah. Kim Jong-il is a character in this movie.
Yes.
And is actually a very funny character in the film. And we were thinking about it here at the show, and we were thinking, Kim Jong-il is famous for being a cinema buff, a film buff, and he watches movies. He's in his country. He's, I think, written a book on film criticism.
He kidnapped a famous director in South Korea. He kidnapped him, brought him back to his country, and made him direct a film too.
Right. It's something out of a Bond movie.
Yeah, no,
it's incredible. Yeah, it's like we almost wanted to put some of that in the movie, but we thought people wouldn't believe it.
Right. But so what I'm curious about, there's a good chance that this dictator is going to see this movie because
there's a super good chance because we're going to send him a print.
You're going to send Kim Jong-il a print.
Yes.
Why don't you go and screen it with him in his private screening
because
room?
maybe he'll kill us, or worse, he might kidnap us and make us direct another puppet movie, which I would rather kill myself than ever direct another puppet movie.
More fun to watch it probably than to actually make it.
It's not a whole lot of.
It was the worst.
Never make a puppet movie.
Anybody out there, don't make one.
A lot of people were thinking of making a puppet movie tonight.
I know, and their dreams are crushed.
That's the weirdest public service announcement for kids. I know making a puppet movie sounds cool.
Don't make a puppet movie.
Don't do it.
It's us with sores all over our face. I made a puppet movie.
Yeah.
Please.
The more you know, NBC. Gling.
That little thing, the microphone to our thing that we're smoking. Please don't.
Never make a puppet movie. I did it. Look what happened to me. We have a clip here. I actually don't know which clip this is. I know nothing.
But here's the thing about all that, because the MPA also makes you cut the clips. The MPA is insane, and they're old and they're stupid, and they make you.
I hear some of them are fat.
Yeah,
too.
and they're fat.
Oh, come on now.
And they make you cut the clips. So we've been watching these clips and it's basically like the MPA cuts everything out. So whatever it is, it's a small piece of what's in the movie.
It's a G-rated kind of piece of our movie, which is not at all G-rated.
This much of our movie is G-rated, so they try to get whatever they can.
Let's take a look at this butchered clip from Team America World Police.
Massacre.
Hello. Great to see you again, Hans.
Mr. Il, I was supposed to be allowed to inspect your palace today, and your guards won't let me into certain areas.
Hans, we've been through this a dozen times. I don't have any weapons of mass destruction, okay, Hans?
Then let me look around so I can ease the UN's collective mind. I'm sorry, but the UN must be firm with you. Let me see your whole palace or else.
Or else what?
Or else we will be very, very angry with you, and we will write you a letter telling you how angry we are.
Okay, I'll show you, Hans. You ready? Stand ready to your left. Read them off. Good. Ah! There you go, Hans Briggs.
They can't.
The best part was coming.
The best part they cut out?
He gets eaten by the sharks.
He gets eaten by the sharks.
And the line he says, Hans, you're breaking my balls. And he can say it on TV, but the MPA won't.
That's going to become an ad for The Apprentice. You'll see when you watch tonight. Well, there's a lot of. It's a very funny film, and thank you guys for making the time to come by and
thank you.
talk to us. Matt Stone, Trey Parker, Seth Meyers coming up.